Welcome, everybody, to Athletically Speaking. Wyatt Ryan welcomes us with his balloons on his screen. A wonderful, wonderful entrance there from him.
Thank you.
How's it been?
It's I'm alive. Every day above ground's a good day.
That's right. That's right. That's a good way of looking at that. Yeah. We're here. We're excited, I guess, to bring you another episode.
I
I don't
guess
know where my phone went
it's very enthusiastic.
now. That has all my information.
Serious.
Modern usage in
I don't want to know the definition of enthusiasm.
there it
Thank you.
is.
Stop it. Leave me alone. Go away.
She
Okay,
likes
Go
you.
I found
away.
this on the web,
Stop.
or I wasn't
Ah,
talking. I don't want to know.
okay.
Sorry. Sorry about
Anyway,
that. She was. I don't know.
she's trying to come at you. I don't know.
I guess. I guess.
All right, let's start this thing off. Let's just dive right in. We got some college football news to attend to.
Mm-hmm.
And the first uh, thing of business that we have is that the ACC and the Clemson FSU lawsuit has been settled. Um, with all the information as currently as it says from Andy Staples and On3, a school could pay 200 million to leave the ACC once the settlement went through. So it's already through now. So if a team wanted to leave the ACC, they would just pay a lump sum of 200 million, which is much better than several hundred millions of dollars that it was going to be with the contract that they were in. And then figures will fall. I think I remember it saying 18 million per year up until the 2031 year, in which then it's only like 70 million to exit the league once we get to that last year of the contract.
Yeah.
But this is big news for Clemson and Florida State because if they did want a way out of the league, as they said that they did, then there is a way for them to get out without having to pay a mass amount of money.
That's right. They can come to the Big 12.
They can maybe come to the Big 12, or they go to the SEC and
Bro.
you can pick up the scraps of the ACC, and then you can get a few more bids in the playoffs. Apparently,
Yeah.
I wonder how that would work if Big 12 absorbed most of the ACC. Would they just get their two bids? So
I
would
don't know.
everybody have four bids, or would they be like, well, since the ACC's gone, the SEC and Big Ten need six bids apiece,
They probably would, and
and
they
then
would.
the Big 12 just gets the two?
I'm lighting headquarters on fire then at that point.
Yeah, that sounds like a something that they would try to suggest. It's like, well, we just need more. It's like, no, that's not how
No,
that
no,
works.
no, you don't.
But yeah, you got anything on that?
I do not. I mean, I'm happy for them. Hopefully I don't know. It'll be interesting to see after the season what they do if they decide, because I know they hate it there. So I don't know.
True,
It'd be cool. It'd be cool to see him go anywhere else but the SEC or
true.
Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, they could pull a OU Texas and say, well, we're not going to leave until this year when it's under so much money, and
Hmm.
then decide that they want to settle or something like that after that. I don't know.
Yeah,
They could make their intentions known now and then see where it goes from there.
yeah, yeah.
But that was the biggest source of news
Become
these
the
past
new
couple of weeks.
Pac-12.
Huh?
Become the new Pac-12.
Yeah, true, true. Maybe they'll just combine and become the Coastal Conference.
Yeah,
That'd
that's
be
what that's what the ACC should do. It should just be the All Coast Conference
right.
at this point.
You got Stanford and Cal. You might as well add the other two in Washington State and Oregon State and just call it a day.
Yeah,
But what do we know?
yeah. I don't know.
The next not so as big piece of news items is that Oklahoma has canceled their spring game,
Yeah,
and I'm very upset about it. I think it's dumb. I think canceling spring games are dumb in general. We talked about this the last time. They've replaced it with the Crimson Combine or something. I think they're supposed to be doing like 7-on-7 drills and signing autographs or something stupid. I don't know.
which is cool, but
I
yeah,
mean, I guess it's whatever. It's $10 to go in and watch them do something, which I don't feel like is going to be any more enjoyable than a spring football game would be.
yeah, yeah.
But
That's
I'm gonna have to
dumb.
wait in a 14-hour long line just to get an autograph from somebody that I'm probably gonna have to pay for again.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know, it's dumb. I'm
it
not
is
happy
dumb.
about it.
I'm not happy for you. It's dumb.
However, on the flip side of that, um, I'm convinced. OU's going all the way this year. I saw one clip from spring ball, and we're here. They
Stop it.
sold me. They've sold me on it.
Dude, stop it. Stop it.
I've 9-3, 10-2. We're back. We're back, baby.
Don't get your hopes up, man. Stop
They're
it.
already there. They
You
got
need
them.
you need to shut that down right now.
John Mateer has sold me. We're here.
Whatever expectations you have, just a little
See,
bit.
this is the thing. We're here. I mean, spring football, it's a cycle. The past is there. It's gone. We got Jim Nagy as GM now. We're golden. We're riding high.
Yeah. I
I
think it'd be
mean,
better though for sure. I think you got some, stud quarterback now. Reminds me of Baker. Hopefully, he can
true.
rekindle some of that and
I hope so. I mean,
you know,
we got a defense, so I mean, heck, if
get
John
them on.
Mateer is halfway average, then we should win more games
Yeah,
easily.
I'm rooting for you guys. As long as we do decent too. But if we're bad, I want you to be bad. You know that.
That's
But
true. I mean, you should. I mean, might be better. I don't really know what you got going on over there. I
I'll be
haven't seen
honest with you, I
anything.
don't even. I'm not. I don't even know myself. But
They're doing
we'll
something
find
over
out.
there.
We'll find something out eventually. I guess I don't have any answers.
Oh well, maybe whenever y'all got some spring thing going on.
Not to my knowledge. No, no game still.
Dang. Well, who
So
knows then? Maybe something will happen.
hopefully.
Um, Speaking of Oklahoma State, I talked to you about this a little bit, but I just think it's so funny. I saw the Mike Gundy rant from however long ago. His "I'm a man, I'm 40" came
Hmm.
across my feed, and none of that applies anymore whatsoever. It
No,
doesn't
not.
matter.
I mean, unless they're like a freshman, salt like, but
Even
now
then, they're being paid
they're
NIL to be
not.
there.
These call them amateurs. It's not the same. It doesn't hit the same. So I feel that. I feel that. It's very sad, but
Like he can't even rant about it. Somebody writing something bad about some kid in the paper because he's being
yeah,
paid to play. So if he's gonna be paid to play, he can be criticized just as much. So
that's true though.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
man.
I thought it was very interesting.
It is interesting. It's yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into this. I gave you a task. Your task was to come up with the top five transfers for 2025. So the top five people who's going to make an impact on their new team. The top five returning players for 2025. So people who are still on their team who's going to make an impact. And then I wanted you to come up with your top five coaches in college football. And let's start with the top transfers of 2025. We'll start from the bottom at number five, and you can
I,
go first.
uh, I'm sorry. You said transfers first, sort of.
Yes, transfers
Okay.
first.
All right. Starting from the bottom. Let's see here. I'm kind of unimpressed with the transfer class, though. I mean, there's not
That's
really a
fair.
lot. I feel like,
You got a couple big names, and everybody else is just like, eh.
yeah. Um, by number five, I've got. I think it's Mackie Hughes. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Hmm.
From Tulane, going to Oregon. Um, he was a sophomore running back. I mean, he this last season he ran for just over 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns, averaged a little under 6 yards per carry. It's pretty, good coming from a G5 school. So I have him at my number five spot. I think he'll be, Oregon, he'll be utilized well. So
Yeah, I don't, now that I'm looking at my list, I don't have anybody coming from a G5 to a P5,
you know,
which I thought was interesting.
yeah.
Um, but it's whatever.
Hmm.
So my number five is Damon Wilson II, and I cannot currently remember where he, oh, Georgia. He came from Georgia. And then he is transferring to Missouri. I think he's going to be a very good help for them, especially considering that a lot of their defense is went to the NFL or done whatever, graduated. So I think he's going to be able to come in and fit right in with what they got going on to help fill some pieces, fill some holes.
Yeah,
Last year had 22 total tackles, 13 solos, three sacks. I think he can, when he's not at Georgia, when he's not like not the main guy, but like at Missouri, he's going to be able to do more of his own self and make a name for himself compared to being on a roster full of other five-star people with bigger names than he has.
yeah.
So I think he's gonna get the ball out there at Missouri.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
Then number four, yours.
Number four, which I feel like I should put him in the five spot. Eric Singleton from Georgia Tech. He's transferring to Auburn this last season. He receiver. He was a sophomore. He only had 800 yards. Um, only had three TDs. The year before, he only had six. Like I said, I'm really unimpressed with the transfer class. I didn't really quite know. I should have put him at the bottom. Um, I mean, I looked pretty heavily at a lot of people, and I just was like, eh. But I'm gonna swap him. He'll be my five spot, and then we'll have Mackie Hughes at my number four spot. Um, but yeah.
All right. My number four, I have Zachariah Branch, wide receiver out of USC.
Hmm.
Um, he had 47 receptions, 503 yards, and a touchdown while at USC last year. I feel this is a man that I feel like was very underused, which surprised me a little bit. Um, but Lincoln Riley has a knack for underusing like five-star receivers and just not doing whatever with them. And I don't get it because he did the same thing in Oklahoma. There's a couple transfer guys that went out that have balled out elsewhere. And I think
Hmm.
this is going to be another case for Zachariah Branch. He went off to Georgia. I'm not sure exactly who they're going to have to throw to him, but I think he's going to be a top target. Like if he had
Hmm.
went to Oklahoma, I would have been hooping and hollering for this man. Like
Yeah.
he's good. He's going to ball out in Georgia. He's going to do awesome in the SEC. As long as the quarterback that they get there is able to get him the ball, which I think they're going to do because he's a speed receiver. He's a deep threat guy. He's gonna score more than one touchdown this year.
Okay. Excellent.
Number three for you.
I'm gonna turn my thing off
What
on
is it?
here. This group chat blowing up and
Oh,
I
maybe
don't
he's
know how
saying
to
he
do
wants
that
to
exit.
retire again.
Number three spot. I don't like. It's kind of dumb. He was a lot better in the year before than I remember for some reason, or he wasn't not as good as I remember. I had Nick Anderson. I know he was hurt this last season.
That's part of the
I
problem.
thought I looked up his stats though the year before he was like he was really good, but he's going to LSU and but he's really not. I don't know. I mean, he was good, but I know he caught the Red River rivalry. He caught that
The game winner.
catch and won the game for you guys. People are really stressing me out right now with the group chat. It's popping up in my thing. Sorry. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've hit. I guess I'll put him at my three spot. He don't deserve it, but um, I don't know. Who do you got?
He's better than the other guy that left Oklahoma to go there.
What was his name? Bauer. I thought
Uh,
he liked him.
no, his BS is a good initial for him because that's all he ever did.
He went pretty.
Um, my number three was Williams Nwaneri. He
Okay.
was a defensive end at Missouri. Very very underutilized while at Missouri for the entire 24 season. He had two total tackles, all completely. Um, so this is a guy who was a freshman last year, who I think he transferred to Nebraska, who's going to be able to fill some holes that Nebraska desperately needs. I think he's going to be able to easily start there and come in and be able to make plays and going. He's a five-star recruit coming out of high school, committed to Missouri, got the bag, and now is leaving Missouri to go to Nebraska, where he's actually going to be successful under Matt Rule. So I think he's going to do great. Yeah, that's what I got on him.
Wait.
Number two, good
Number
sir.
number two, I'll say Carson Beck. Um, leaving from Georgia, going to Miami. I think he'll be good for Miami. I didn't pull up all of his stats because everybody knows Carson Beck. I mean, I feel like he did really good up until this year, which this year he was still okay, but I feel like he really towards the end of the season slacked a lot. Like he threw a lot of interceptions, like halfway to, but I've seen what he can do. He's a championship, you know, quarterback. I have him at the number two spot. Um, I'm excited to see him in the ACC. What he does for Miami. And, yeah,
Number two for me is probably not a surprise, but John Mateer.
yeah,
For an offense that was dead 90% of the year last year, and bringing in Ben Arbuckle, his OC, coming from a school where they were averaging 400 yards a game. He was putting up tons of yards, tons of touchdowns. I think he's going to be able to come in and make an impact at OU rather quickly,
hmm
especially with Arbuckle. If receivers stay healthy, if the O line can click, there's
yep,
no question with the quarterback. John Mateer's a good quarterback. So
hmm
you're losing the Jackson Arnold. Like, is he going to be good or not? Mateer's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
He's going to be solid if you can block for him, and if he's got receivers that's going to stay healthy, then he should be pretty solid this year.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I enjoy watching his interviews. I feel like he answers questions really well, very
Hmm.
optimistic. I mean, he gives. I could see if I was an Oklahoma fan, he gives you something to be excited about, and
Very insightful man.
it's very, like I said, it reminds me a lot of Baker. Hope you that's true for you
I
guys.
hope it's true too, or I might
Yeah,
do things.
or he's gonna be a complete bust, but
Yeah, he could be a bust, and there's a building with my name on it. I don't know. We'll see.
right. Yeah, that's who I got at number one. It was either him or Carson, but I don't know. Carson's, he was the most, and Mateer was the most sought quarterback in the transfer portal. So, yeah, I have him. I think he'll do pretty good things. Is like you said, as long as your O line can click and receivers stay healthy, which was a huge deal for you guys last year. And I feel like your defense should still be just as good under Venables calling out the plays. And but I'm happy for you guys. I'm excited to see what he does. He had 31 over 3,100 yards last year at Washington. 29 touchdowns. So definitely he's pretty good. He's got a lot of potential, and I think he'll do well. I think he'll do well over there. I don't really doubt him much. He seems like a guy you can be confident in. Hopefully that's true.
True.
Yeah.
Side note here, neither one of us put Jackson Arnold on this list, and that's fine. 'Cause-
Yeah.
But I just know somehow Jackson Arnold's going to come into Norman September 20th and drop like
He's just
400
gonna wreck
yards,
you
four
guys.
touchdowns. Yeah, and it just be like, well, where the frick was this whole time?
Yeah,
I
dude.
just
That's
can already see it happening.
that's gonna be funny.
Um,
It's gonna happen.
so we just switched our ones and twos, but I had Carson Beck number one,
Yeah, fair.
and I think Beck is a very good replacement for Cam Ward at Miami.
Yeah.
I think Carson Beck's going to be a little bit better of a thrower. He had 3,400 passing yards, 28 touchdowns. He did have 12 interceptions, which is a lot for a year. But I think at Miami, your competition is much easier than what you're playing at Georgia. I mean, your toughest opponent. I don't have Miami's schedule pulled up for this year yet. Hang on, I'll get that. But Carson Beck's a guy that is reliable. Like, you know what he is capable of doing because you've
Mm.
seen it. He's done it at Georgia before. Um, my brain cannot do two things at once. But you've seen him do it, so I'm not like I'm not skeptical that he's not going to be able to succeed at Miami. He has some people around him that's going to help him out with that. They start Notre Dame. That's going to be your toughest game so far. Florida, they whooped last year. I would be shocked to not see them do that again. Outside of that, that's your two toughest games, probably Florida, Notre Dame, maybe Florida State, depending on how they rebuild, if they can kind of come back out and make things happen or not. But Miami's schedule is brutally easy, depending on how those teams shake out.
Mm.
So I would not be shocked to see them come into the ACC championship again this year, or not
Yeah, they
again, but
should.
they get there.
But yeah, they should.
Yeah. All right. Top returning players to their team this year. I'll start this one off since you started off the last one. And at number 5, I have Lenore Sellers, quarterback at South Carolina. This is a guy who has Heisman level potentials with the Gamecocks this year. He threw for 2,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, but he got most of his stuff on the ground. He is a very mobile quarterback. He's got the running threat. He's a very classified dual threat quarterback, which is going to be tough for his for the I'm having an aneurysm, I think, for the schools that he's playing against. Like he balled out. He's getting almost 50 yards a game on the ground. He put up 166 against Clemson, and they're one there. Like he's going to get yards on the ground. He's going to make it happen through the air. Um, he's he's a ball he's a ball hawk. He's good. He's going
Yeah,
to score. I think he put South Carolina in a position to do well. And he's the center man. Like he's the leader of that team. I could easily see him ending up in New York by the end of the year.
yeah, yeah. Good one. For me, for my five spots, I have Drew Aller from Penn
Ooh,
State.
the
Um,
Nittany Lions.
yeah, I mean, I think he's really great. I think he did really well. This last season, he had 3,327 yards, 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 66.5 completion rate. He did really well. Super tough kid. I think that he will do. I think he's a really. I can't talk either. I mean,
We're both in the same boat here.
he good things will happen for him, I think. It sucks that he's still on Penn State because they just can't ever really typically win a big game that they need to. I don't know. Anyways, but
I
he's good.
mean,
I'm happy for them. They
they
never can.
got what's his face now that I can't think of. The DC.
Oh, they did get somebody.
He was the Ohio State guy. He was
Oh,
the guy from Oklahoma
oh,
State.
oh, oh, oh. Freaking dude, I can't even. Oh, Jim Knowles.
Jim
Oh,
Knowles, yeah.
yes, I forgot about that actually.
So
That
heck,
is a big pickup for them. I
it's a real big
personally,
pickup.
I would have fired him from Ohio State and sent him back to Stillwater where he came from
I'm sure you
personally.
would have.
That's just me though.
Sure.
That's just me. But yeah, dude, I forgot about that. Yeah, they're definitely someone to look out for this year.
No, Penn State's like a top five. You could potentially put them top three team with Jim Knowles at
You could,
DC.
absolutely. Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, dude. No, absolutely.
Cool. All right. Number four. For myself,
Yeah.
I'm coming back to the Crimson and Cream here, and I'm gonna go R. Mason Thomas. This man was the biggest clutch man I think I've ever seen in my entire life on the defensive line. He had 23 total tackles in 24, 13 solo, 10 assists, 9 sacks, which is the big thing here. Um,
Hmm.
coming out and getting the sacks to the quarterback. He had a forced fumble and two fumble recoveries, and one of those is what we saw at LSU. So this man can ball like all year
Hmm.
long against Tennessee, against Alabama, against LSU, against you name it. This man was making plays in the backfield. The fact that he forgoed the NFL draft, came back to Norman for one more year, um, is is magical because
No,
the
dude, you
fact that he
guys.
stayed, added depth to that defensive line with Dominic Williams, some edge rushers is big
Hmm.
for Venables calling that defense. So having somebody that's trustworthy on the D line that's going to be able to get sacks in the backfield game in and game out is
Oh,
massive.
dude. Oh, for sure, man. I mean, every time I'd watch Oklahoma play, you'd hear his name several times during the game. Like he
Yep.
was
And
there.
it was like fourth quarter, high pressure moment. This man's making a play. Like you can
Yeah,
count on it.
yeah, yeah. It's like if something went wrong, it wasn't him. Like he did his part for sure. Carried. I mean, yeah. He's. You guys better be thankful you got him. So.
Yep.
For my number four, I've got Ryan Williams from Alabama. I think he's probably could go higher, but he's a phenomenal. He was only 17 to start this season. I don't know how old he is now, but anyways, but yeah,
It's
super
18.
young, 18 now. I didn't know if his birthday had,
Yeah, it happened.
but yeah, dude, he's a phenomenal player. The fact that he's so young. Coming back here, I think he'll be great for the Tide. He had 8 touchdowns, just a little under 900 yards. I guess stats wise aren't as good, but this man could put you on skates. I mean, you couldn't guard him. It was really fun. It's cool to see him in person. I think he's going to have a fantastic career in college and so on. I'm really excited to see how he develops. It's insane. He's so young, but he's already so good. He's and
That
only going to get
man's
better.
if he doesn't win a Heisman in a couple of years, I'd be shocked.
No, absolutely. He 100%. Yeah, he should. He should. That's who I got though.
All right. At number three, I got Cade Klubnik,
Mhm.
Clemson quarterback. This man, this past year, 2024, led his team to an ACC title, a playoff berth, where they went toe to toe with Texas in the first round of the playoffs there. It came real close to getting that dub. He put up 3,600 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. He played lights out. He got Clemson to where they needed to be. He was the man that he was supposed to be coming in to the year. Him returning is real big for Clemson because I think that sets them up to go do it again this year in the ACC.
Yeah.
Currently, as of right now, is probably the front runner to do so.
Hmm.
Um, I just think that he's going to be able to replicate that. He finally got it going. A couple years ago, it was like, can Cade Klubnik step up and be the man that he's supposed to be, and get Clemson to where they want to be? And so far, he's developed real nice with Dabo Sweeney there. Um, Lincoln Riley's brother, Garrett Riley, he seems to be developing good under his offense. He's taken to it, and he's balling out. This
Yeah.
man, I think, is going to be able to replicate that, and I think he's going to be big to returning, or for Clemson to return to where they want to be is the key for him coming back.
No, for sure. Yeah. Oh, so my number three, or yeah, I got Caleb Downs from Ohio State. He was a sophomore. Um, Safety. He was phenomenal on the defensive side of the ball. 48 solos, 33 assists, 2 interceptions. He was a key piece for their defense, and I think, defending champions. I think he's a great asset to the defense. So I'm excited to see him continue to be amazing and do what he does best. The
I'm going to go flip side of that there, and I'm going to go Jeremiah Smith,
no,
Ohio State wide receiver, who was
yeah,
a freshman last year. It's just sickening to see all these people that Ohio State's got coming back.
yeah,
It's like, really?
yeah.
But he's coming back. He had 76 receptions last year, almost 1,500 yards receiving, had 13, 15, 15 touchdowns. This man's a baller, and as a freshman last year, and he did that stuff.
Oh, dude, yeah,
Like he's gonna come back this year in his sophomore season, and he's gonna make up and make it big and come out and be known again. As of right now, I'm not sure who the Ohio State quarterback will be. I'm not sure if they know, but
yeah,
as long as they bring somebody in that's going to be solid and can get the ball to this guy, then I think they're set, good to go.
yeah. Um, go ahead. Actually, for my number two spot, I had Jeremiah Smith. Everything that you said is why he is up there. Um, I mean, quite literally said took the words out of my mouth. He balled out, super young, to develop still, but he's already so good, and he's only going to get better. So, um, yeah, great asset for Ohio State. I guess I'll go ahead and, I mean, like I said, it's super short and sweet, so I'll go ahead and start out with number one on my list. I have Arch
What?
Manning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
Arch. Um, I'm excited for him to finally get to, his time to shine. I'm assuming what he would be starting, right? Like he was how many games did he play? He was
Like
because
2 or 3, I think.
viewers, it was not that many. But just in the time that he played, he had 939 yards, 67% completion rate, 9 touchdowns through 2 picks. But this dude's a stud just from the few games he got to play with putting up those many stats. I'm excited to see how he, being a starter. I think Texas is in very good hands. That's very unfortunate for you guys. Hopefully, you guys can contain him.
Very unfortunate for
But
Texas at all.
I'm excited for the art show to,
I think he's gonna be a bust.
Yeah, you
I don't
think?
know. I'm just saying crap
Uh,
at this point. I would
yeah.
like him to be a bust because I think that would be hilarious
Oh,
for
absolutely.
Texas at all.
You don't do
Um,
it though. Like, no, he ain't
I
gonna
mean,
be a
but who do you play against? Like ULM, who
Yeah, it
else?
wasn't. I mean, but
Mississippi
still,
State, the
he
worst
played a
team in the
few
SEC.
games and he had almost 1,000 passing yard. Like, no, bro, that
I
don't
guess.
9 interceptions. I don't care who you are. That's good. That's good. You know what? Just for you, hook and bait.
I can't believe
I'm
your
just kidding.
nonsense is happening on the air right now.
Ooh,
Anyway, I mean, I thought about putting him on this list, but I felt like he was very I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, my number one was Ryan Williams from Alabama for all the reasons that you said. As I
mm,
look at his stats, I felt like he did more than that. He had 48 receptions,
same.
865 yards, 8 touchdowns. Um, but he made some real big plays at
He
big moments
did.
during the season. I think he's just going to be able to grow and develop off of all that and get better and be a hoss later down the road. So, yeah, that's that. I know Oklahoma locked him down. Eli Bowen locked him down, so get wrecked, Ryan Williams.
Right.
See you next year. So, yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
bro.
my top
Excellent.
five returning members. So, let's bounce it back to you to start this thing off of top five coaches, and you can start at number five.
Top five coaches. Where'd my thing go? I wasn't sure. I have Dabo Sweeney
Okay,
uh
okay.
on my list.
I'm interested.
He his time at Clemson's, he's had some pretty good success. I forgot to look things up about him, so
It's okay.
I'm gonna have him in my five spot. Who's yours?
My five spot, I really debated between this guy and Marcus Freeman, but I ultimately went with this guy because he just got done beating him in the national championship, and that's Ryan Day. I
Yeah.
feel like as I was putting all this list together, I felt like he was the only one that made sense to go in five because I couldn't say anybody else at this point would be like better than him,
Hmm.
except maybe Marcus Freeman. But like I said, he just lost to him in a title game, so we're gonna go
Yeah.
Ryan Day. Though he's 1-4 against Michigan, there's some questionable game management things there, here and there. But
Yeah, man,
overall, if you win an Addy, you're a pretty good coach. So I got him at number five.
for sure. Number four spot, I've got Dan Lanning. What he's done at Oregon his first few seasons has been great. He's currently 35-6. His first three seasons. Almost making a run at a championship game. Almost winning Oregon their first natty was close, but he just couldn't quite get there. But
They'll be back.
um, I'm just I don't know. I think that they're in good hands with him as well, and I think they'll get there soon enough. I don't really know any of the asset like who they've got coming.
Hmm.
I haven't looked, but I'm
We
not
haven't got to the in-depth
yeah, I'm not
conferences yet.
not doubting Dan Lanning, Oregon. I think they'll be back, and I'm excited to see what they got. I really want to go to the Oregon game this year. We play them the next two seasons.
It's
We
true.
play in Eugene this year,
Uh,
and then in Stillwater the next.
We
So
gotta really hope that. What day do y'all play them on in Stillwater?
we play. Wait, what?
You should have that date scheduled already. When do y'all play? What day do y'all play on Stillwater?
Oh, I'm not sure
Brother,
when
just look it up.
we play. I was gonna say we play them September 9th or 6th this year in Eugene.
Hmm.
Um, this is 1 second. Ball.
Because we got Michigan the 6th, which
Yep.
that's going to be such a good game. John Mateer getting the ball out against the Wolverines. It's going to be sick.
That'll be.
Classic Big Ten SEC matchup.
Oh, I don't know.
So we go
What?
at Michigan September 12th.
September 12th.
Dang it.
They'll be. They'll be here. And I'm sorry, who'd you say you played September 12th?
At Michigan.
At Michigan. Dang it, we got both got really
I feel
good. And then
like,
you play Michigan. You play them the next 2 seasons too.
yeah,
And then
dang.
so it's and they're both around the same Oregon, us, and then you guys at Michigan.
I wish
Listen, I know this is kind of if we could really go to the Oregon game, I think that we should. Oh, we really should, bro. I'm just saying we go to you away games every year.
we do.
How cool would it be to go to Oregon, man?
Well, it would be cool.
You talking
I
about?
plan
I
on
think.
hitting the big house up September 12th. I will take days out of school.
Well, that's a home game
That's an away game in
this year.
26.
Well, yes, but this year
It's a
it's a
home
home.
game this year, yeah.
So we could
That's a
potentially.
that's a big game. That's a big game.
But yeah, but then look at that. We can go to Oregon this year, and then we can go to Michigan next year. I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll
We
get the
will.
details worked out.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me, was Steve Sarkisian. As
Mm,
much as I hate him and I hate Texas, um, I mean he's turned that thing around. They were a 5-7 hole in the road
it
pretty
was a war.
consistently for
I loved it.
the past decade.
I loved it.
And he has come in and went 5-7, then went like 8-4, and then made the playoff 2 years in a row. So
Ridiculous. I
this
hate it.
man's he got it. He got it good. He's got a talent around him. He's got a
Mm,
soft freaking schedule in the SEC, but
yeah.
he's doing what he's supposed to do with the soft schedule. So
Good coach though. Yeah.
yeah, so he's a good coach. I got him at number 4.
He's my number three. He's since he's been there 38 and 17, 25 and 5 over the last 2 seasons and 15 and 2 in conference play. So yeah, he's doing what he's supposed to do, doing great things. Yeah, he's number three spot.
Yep. We just switched these people. I got Dan Lanning. That's for you, Puddles. Dan
Yeah,
Lanning at number 3. We love you, Puddles. This is the Puddles
I love
podcast right here.
safe zone for puddles.
So Puddles, Dan Lanning is at number 3.
Yep,
That's hearts up for Puddles.
that's right.
He is done well. Everything you said, he's got there. I think he'll get Oregon to the promised land. It'll just take him
Eventually,
some time to build.
it'll happen, man.
Number 2.
Number two, I've got Ryan Day, which is probably a little bit too high, but still, I mean, he's been won some big games, but he can win. He won the Natty, so it's got to count
Hey.
for something, unfortunately. But
I
yeah,
mean, he won some of the biggest games in the playoff.
yeah. Oh, for sure. No, over. Yeah, for sure. He's 56 and 8, 39 and 3 record against Big Ten conference.
Hmm.
I feel like that's not. Is that right? I don't
That
know.
doesn't sound right. He lost 4 games to Michigan. So
It doesn't sound right. That's why I was like, wait a minute. I need to fact check what I read because I'm like, that doesn't. Anyways, but yeah,
anyway,
no, he's done great things though. Won the Natty. It sucks, he lost Knowles, but oh well. And yeah. So
this is going to be interesting. This year, he lost Chip Kelly, his OC, and Knowles, his DC.
mhm.
Is the Ohio State Magic, are they going to be able to replicate the same thing without those 2 people?
They can do this, then,
Or is it Ryan Day being,
yeah.
we'll see.
I think
We shall see.
I think it's funny though. Start of the season, people were sending him death threats.
For real, for losing to
Lost
Michigan.
Michigan, dude. And
People
now
wanted him fired after that week.
such a roller coaster of emotions.
Can you imagine wanting to fire your coach after Michigan and then winning the Natty, and you're just like,
So you know what?
I guess
I'm
this is
sorry.
fine.
I jumped the gun just a little bit. Yeah.
I made some choices. It's okay. I'm a
Sorry.
better person now.
Yeah.
My number 2 guy is the only one on this list who has won multiple national championships, and that is Dabo Swinney at Clemson.
Yeah.
Um, I will credit some of his stuff that he's done to Brent Venables and his defensive coordinator, but the fact that he's ran it back, he made it back to the playoff, got real close to moving on. Clemson's going to be a better team, and it's because Dabo Swinney is a real good coach. Some of his stuff is kind of odd that he does. He's a little goober, but that's okay. Dabo Swinney is a good coach. His players buying into the stuff that he's selling, and he's making it work there at Clemson.
Yeah. For sure, man. My number one spot, I got Kirby Smart. Georgia. I mean, win back-to-back natties. That's got to mean something. Make a heck of a run, and he's very consistent. Currently, since he's been there over 7 seasons, he's 105 and 19, 48 and 9 in SEC play. So, really a really good coach, obviously, and I think that they're not done. And unfortunately, I hate Georgia, but they're Georgia. I mean, now they're creeping up on for the most SEC. Aren't they creeping up on Alabama because they currently hold the record for most SEC like conference wins?
Maybe.
Um,
I'm not
I feel
sure.
like he's creeping up there to Bama.
Getting close.
I looked the other day, but yeah, he's Kirby Smart. Yeah,
I too have Kirby Smart at number one. I mean, he's won multiple natties, so one of the top two coaches. I feel
no
like you got to
doubt.
be there. Kirby Smart's got it rolling at Georgia. He learned from Nick Saban. He couldn't beat Nick Saban, but like
No,
once.
yeah,
But he learned from Nick Saban. Nick Saban's gone, so he's
yep,
got the magic pot cooking right now.
yeah.
So we shall see what happens coming up, and then we'll go from there, I guess.
Yep.
All right. Well, anything else on the coaches?
I don't, man. I don't have anything. Yeah, dude. I don't
All
really.
right. Well, that's cool. So now we move on to our newest addition to this podcast, and that is Ryan's 2 minute timeout, where he asks questions that may or may not pertain to college football, and we try to answer them.
Yep.
So what do you got? What's your question number one of Ryan's 2 minute timeout?
Oh, currently struggling over here, if you know what I mean. Because
Oh boy,
anyways, oh, I gotta go bathroom. Anyways,
that poor
can I
guy.
just, I can, it's just a little filter. I'm
No,
yeah.
I would rather
I'm
not. I bet I could smell it
kidding.
through the camera, and I don't need that in my
It's
life.
fine. Anyways, all right, 2 minute time, 2 minute drill. Number one,
Sort of.
what year was the first college football game played, and who was playing?
Oh, the first college football game played.
Yes.
Who was playing?
Mm.
Um, Rutgers calls themselves the birthplace of college football. So I'm gonna say Rutgers is one of the teams, and then like Princeton or somebody is the second team, and I'm gonna
Right.
say 1897.
No, a little bit off. It's
Ooh,
1869.
ooh, dang!
Yeah, dude, long time ago, man.
And who was the
Long
two
time
teams?
ago. Huh? It was Princeton and Rutgers.
Oh, nice. So I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
that
You
right.
got that 1869, dude. It's been yeah.
That's a hot second.
Question number two: which team holds the record for most consecutive losses in
Losses.
college football? Just college D1 college football.
D1 losses. Does this count like a non-winning streak? So like ties? Is that involved?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't
Hmm.
know. Just losses, ties, I guess. I
Who's
guess
been historically bad?
um
I
I
feel like
I wished I will give you it's in I think it's an FCS school. It's HBCU, that's FCS.
oh H okay HBCU.
Yeah, I should have clarified and said like, like at least not, you know what I mean?
That
Next time.
definitely changes my thought process because I was thinking like Northwestern.
So you probably won't get that. I should have done an actual team people know.
If it's
Uh,
HBCU, give me a
it's
region of
just
the
a
United
fun fact.
States.
It's just a fun fact at this point, but
Give me a
yeah.
region. I want to guess.
Um, let me see. Actually, let me see. I think it's a Texas school, but one
I
second.
think. Okay.
Yes, it is in Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
HBCU in Texas. Yeah, I don't got like Holy Cross,
No, that was a good guess. Prairie View A&M
Prairie View.
Panthers with 80 losses.
Dang, that's
80
brutal.
lo-
Could you imagine sitting through 80 losses as a fan?
Dude, that would no, dude, from 89 to 98. Yeah, dude.
89 to 98.
I
Wow.
would be just in shambles. I would not. Yeah.
That was my birth year. You know, you're welcome, Prairie View. I came into this world, and you won a
You
game.
finally won a game. All right, and then my last one. Which school has the most active NFL players?
As overall,
Yeah, just like currently playing in the NFL.
hmm, you, yeah, I think it's Alabama.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, how many?
how many?
Yeah.
Like 62.
No, bro. 77.
Oh,
77. LSU was number two with like 68. And number three, I don't remember. But yeah. So, fun
nice,
fact, Corey. These fun facts.
cool,
Sounds yeah, all I got, bro.
fun. All right, well, that was Ryan's 2-minute timeout. You got anything else? Anything fun to talk
Um,
about?
no, man, I don't. I don't. We'll be back here in a couple weeks and for
Yep,
another episode of more questions and more to talk about and
that's
complain
right.
about. So, yeah, bro.
That's fun. In 2 weeks, we'll have I don't know what. All I know is OU softball swept South Carolina today. So,
Yeah, that's always good.
yeah,
It's a good feeling. Glad you got that
still
feeling.
undefeated. Oklahoma
Pretty,
State won today, I think.
yeah, I think so. I don't know who though. I don't know
Hmm,
who they played. Pretty
fun.
decent. Just a little bit behind you guys. Just a little
Just a couple
irritating.
pegs down below.
A little irritating. That's whatever. We'll get there eventually.
That you shall.
Do do do
All
do.
right. Well, that's all I got. That's all
Yeah.
you got. Then
Yeah.
we'll call it good. And that was athletically speaking.
Thank you.